February 26, 2014 meeting of the Environmental and Public Works Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Delahanty? Here. Mr. Heaney is excused. Chairman Michike?
Here.
Mr. Rocco? Here. Mrs. Stick?
Here.
Mr. Wilcox?
Here.
Mr. Yolovich? Here.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? Seeing none. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the January 29th, 2014 minutes of the Environmental Public Works Committee before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Next item on the agenda is new business.
Referral 14-0090, authorize a contract.
Mr. Chairman. Second.
Moved by Legislator Delahanty and second by Legislator Yolovich. Any discussion at this time? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Referral 14-0091, authorize.
Moved by Legislator Yolovich, second by Legislator Rockow. Is there any discussion at this time? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 14-0092.
Moved by Legislator Rockow, second by Legislator Stick. Any discussion at this time? Legislator Wilcox.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I'm actually going to be voting against this resolution at this point in time. It's not because I'm necessarily opposed to the bill. It's basically because I have some outstanding questions. I did receive an excellent briefing, but I do have some additional questions that need to be answered before I can feel comfortable that I have the right information to make a yes vote.
Okay, let's go to a roll call vote.
Okay. Mr. Delahanty?
Aye.
Mr. Heaney is excused. Chairman Michike?
Yes.
Mr. Rocco? Yes. Mrs. Stick?
Yes.
Mr. Wilcox?
No.
Mr. Yolovich?
Yes.
5-1. Motion passes.
Next item.
Referral 14-0093, authorize.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Stick, second by Legislator Delahanty. Any discussion at this time? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 14-0095, authorize a
Move it,
contract.
Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Legislator Delahanty, second by Legislator Yolovich. Any discussion at this time? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Referral 14-0097, authorize a contract.
Moved by Legislator Yolovich, second by Legislator Rockow. Any discussion at this time? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 14-0099, authorize.
Moved by Legislator Rockow, second by Legislator Stick. Any discussion at this time? Legislator Wilcox.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, Mr. Chairman, could I ask the administration why we're paying? It seems like a bit much for a construction manager at $620,000. It doesn't seem like an incredibly big project. Could someone from the administration just tell me a little bit about why that's a reasonable cost for this?
Through you, Mr. Chairman. As you know, we've engaged construction managers for projects of this scale, cost, and complexity. And this is one that's a multi-phase project which involves a number of different components. And we've seen the benefit of having construction managers manage that aspect of the project. Relative to the price, it is well within what we consider industry standards, as well as within past contracts for similar services for projects of this scale and complexity.
Okay. It looks also like there's a 7,000 square foot secure storage facility. could someone explain, through you, Mr. Chairman, could someone from the administration explain why the Rochester Pure Waters District's paying for that?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, has been discussed in past presentations on the capital improvement program. This is a project that largely benefits Rochester Pure Waters District, the aggregate project. We will be billing back accordingly to the different departments that benefit from the project itself, including the Sheriff's Department.
Okay, he answered the question. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Actually, I think, through you, Mr. Chairman, I just want to double check, but it sounds like he already answered this question effectively, because there are several county facilities at this site, including the county's vehicle maintenance facility. So it does sound like there will be chargebacks, essentially. Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Through Mr. Chairman, that is correct.
Perfect, thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 14-0101.
Moved by Legislator Stick, second by Legislator Delahaney. Any discussion at this time? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 14-0106, authorize a contract.
Moved by Legislator Delahaney, second by Legislator Yolovich. Any discussion at this time? Legislator Wilcox.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a few questions on this one. The RGRTA looks like they'll be paying $40,000 to connect to the Rochester Pure Waters fiber optic ring or cable infrastructure. Could you explain, through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, could somebody please explain what the $40,000 is paying for?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, it simply pays for the installation of the fiber connection from the two RGRTA facilities connecting into the Pure Waters fiber line. Okay,
and that is a fair price, through you, Mr. Chairman. Is that a price, is that about what?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, we've got a lot of experience, obviously, installing fiber. We've got over 150 miles in the ground, and they will be billed for actual time and materials for the cost.
Okay. My follow-up question sort of also relates to fair price. It does seem that this is for, and I apologize, is it 5 years?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, it's just a cost reimbursement for our costs incurred. I understand that the term is initial 5 years with 3 additional 5-year renewals.
Okay. And related to that 5 years, are they actually paying anything? Is RGRTA actually paying anything for the use of that fiber optic network or cable? Are they paying any fee for the use during that 5-year period? Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, they'll be paying for costs associated with operations and maintenance of the line itself.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, do we have any idea what those costs actually might be?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I believe it's an amount not to exceed $15,000.
Mm-hmm. But that's, through you, Mr. Chairman, that's not actually paying for the actual use of it. It sounds like that's slightly different maintenance. Is that correct?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, that is correct. There is excess capacity in the network, and it provides a public benefit.
Have we explored what the going rate is for this? In other words, what would Frontier or perhaps Time Warner charge for a 5-year contract for similar bandwidth? Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, we have not. I can't speak for RGRTA, but we were approached by RGRTA to make this connection.
Okay, and I guess that actually leads to my next question, because I want to know, how do we know that we're getting a fair compensation for the use of, again, fiber optics is very high bandwidth. That's a great network to have access to for 5 years. And I get that we have excess capacity, and I'm glad we're using it. I just want to make sure we're getting a fair price. So I think my question is this: do we know that we're getting a price, what the price is that we're getting relative to what the market price is? Do we know? Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, as I previously stated, we're ensuring that we're being made whole for our costs associated with installation, for ongoing operations and maintenance. I think the recognition from the administration is this provides a benefit to the public, primarily in the city of Rochester, and therefore we're not pursuing any costs above and beyond those stated here in this referral.
Okay, I appreciate the answer.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Seeing none, there being no other matters, the February 26, 2014 meeting of the Environmental Public Works Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting will be March 26, 2014 at 5 o'clock.